I'm a college dropout. I was homeless, lived in a car for 3 years. I've lost every single thing I had, family included. I've been written off so many times. But today, the person that you sitting in front of you is a process. I want to talk to you for a moment about the process. Because see, one way to get a person to really follow you is to be the example of what you're trying to get them to follow. You know, my daddy used to tell me all the time, he said, son, best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them, because you can't help the cause. Your brain is divided into two halves, positive and negative, good and evil. Each half of your brain has millions of factory workers on each side. You got 1 million factory workers on the positive side. You got 1 million factory workers on the negative side. At the forefront of each one of those factories in your brain is a foreman. You got foreman positive and you got foreman negative. You are in charge. You're the boss of the factory. So let me show you how this works. You got a remote control. You go to your house tonight and you press that power button and you press it. When you point it at the TV, what do you expect to happen? You expect TV to come on. You press the power button, you expect the TV to come on. If you want to watch HBO and HBO is channel 300 and you press 300 and then you press select, what do you expect to come on that TV? And what comes on that TV? So now, since your brain is in two halves, let me show you how this works. You wake up in the morning and you say, man, I don't feel myself today. I got up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm not a morning person. Foreman negative hears that. He steps to the front. He said, what did you say? You say, I said I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I'm not myself. I'm not a morning person. He says, you got it right away. He said, hey, the boss just woke up and said he's not a morning person. He's having a bad day today, and he ain't feeling himself. Let's get to work. The 1 million factory workers start producing thoughts to justify what you just said. So now guess what? Man, I hate my alarm clock went off this morning. I got to get out here in this traffic. I'm going to drive down here today. I don't even like these people on my job. I can't stand this car I'm finna get in this morning. Sure wish I had a new car, but I'm driving this ragged-ass car. And on and on and on. And your day starts tumbling into what you ordered at the top of the day. You could wake up in the morning and you say, you know what? Today is going to be a great day today. I expect something really good to happen for me today. Man, thank you, Lord, for waking me up this morning. He said, what did you say? You said, I said I'm having a great day today. I expect something good to happen today. Thank you, Lord, for waking me up. Foreman positive turns around and goes, all right, let me have your attention. Steve's having a great day today. He's expecting some wonderful things to happen. And man, let's get it going. And they start manufacturing thoughts. Same brain. Man, I can't wait to go to work today. It may not be the job I want, but at least I got a job. I appreciate the fact that I don't have a car, but at least I can walk to the train. Man, this is going to be great today. That's how your mind works 24/7. It never turns off. You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. Change your attitude, you change your altitude. I'm going to tell you something that every successful person has to do, including you. Believe it or not, every successful person in this world has jumped. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. You are going to have to jump. You cannot just exist in this life. You have got to try to live. If you're waking up thinking that there's got to be more to your life than it is, man, believe that it is. Believe in your heart of hearts that it is. But to get to that life, you're going to have to jump. You see people in life, when you're standing on the cliff of life and you see people soaring by, when you see people soaring, going to exotic places, you hear about them doing wonderful things. Maybe you look up the street and your neighbor just gets a car every year, every 2 years. You know, how is he doing that? Have you ever thought Maybe this person right here has identified their gift and is living in their gift. Because your Bible says, your Bible says your gift will make room for you. Your gift, not your education. You go get an education, that's nice. But if you don't use your gift, that education only gonna take you so far, man. I know a lot of people got degrees, man. They ain't even using them. It's your gift. But the only way for you to soar is you got to jump. You got to take that gift that's packed away on your back. You got to jump off that cliff and pull that cord. That gift opens up and provides the soar. If you don't ever use it, you're going to just go to work. And if you're getting up going to work on a job every day that you hate going to, that ain't living, man. You just existed. At one point in time, you ought to see what living's like. But the only way to see what living like, you got to jump. And here's the problem. Let me just be real with you. When you first jump, let me tell you something. Your parachute will not open right away. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you it did, but it don't. When you jump, it's not going to open right away. You're going to hit them rocks. You're going to get some skin tore off on them cliffs. You're going to get all your clothes tore off. You're going to get some cuts on you. You're going to be bleeding pretty bad. But eventually, the parachute has to open. That is a promise of God. Here's another thing. You can play it safe and deal without the cuts and the tears. And you can stand on that cliff of life forever safe. But if you don't jump, I got another promise I can make you. Your parachute will never open. You'll never know. You'll never know what God really has for you. I was speaking at a school once. I was talking to the students. The principal was mortified with my message because I was telling the truth. I was telling the kids, your education is important, but your education is not the most important thing in your life. I'm sorry, it's not. Your dream is the most important thing in this world. Principal came up on the stage while I was speaking. Don't ever say that to my school again. Well, I'm just telling you, dog. You could save your kids a lot of pain if you ever talk to them about their dreams. You got to talk to young people about their dreams. If you talk to kids about their dreams, your dreams can spur you to get the education. But if you never find out what a child is dreaming about, you can't hold their attention. It's the dream, man. You got to dream about something so big that it dwarfs all your fears. The way you overcome fear is with your dream. You got to make your dream so big that nothing matters except that dream. You're willing to do everything that's necessary. I was listening to Will Smith the other day. Will Smith said the best things in life is on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of fear. But fear freezes people, man. The fear of failure freezes people. Suppose I don't do it. Well, you might not make it. But I got news for you. If you don't do it, you damn sure ain't gonna make it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I talk to so many people who get older, like some of us are, and they've lost their faith. Well, faith is really simple. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. All that means is in the beginning, you just hope something pop off. You know, you just kind of hope something happen for you. I was hoping I would get on TV. I wrote it on a piece of paper when I was 10. I want to be on TV. The problem I had when I wrote it at 10 was I suffered from a severe stuttering problem. I could not talk outside of my house. So can you imagine when I wrote on a piece of paper, I want to be on TV and turned that in? The first thing the little boy next to me asked me, he said, well, how long is your TV show going to be? Cause you're going to be on TV all day. But when I wrote it on the paper, it wasn't factual. It was just hoping. You just got to start with the hope. Faith is the substance of things that you hope for. You just hope something jump. Then what happened is through grace and favor, he give you a couple of them things you hope for, and then you're supposed to start believing then. Because now it turns into faith. But if you take this scripture, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Albert Einstein said that imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. That's what your imagination is. Your imagination is actually very, very real. Everything you imagine could be a preview to life's coming attraction. Everything we have today came from somebody's imagination. Somebody was talking on the phone with that cord on the wall and got sick of it and said, you know what, man, if I could just go outside and talk on the phone, ta-da, we got cell phones. Somebody got tired of driving across the country and said, man, if I could fly over there, boom, we got airplanes. Imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you've ever imagined is real. The problem with most people is you think your imagination is hocus pocus. It's really not. It's a preview of a coming attraction. If you react to your imagination, that's where your real life is. It's just God showing you what he has for you. The problem people have is they tell their imagination to the wrong people. See, if you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. It's dead. How many times, man, have you had a tremendous idea? Something you thought was the one, and you went and told it to your loved ones and your so-called friends, and they shot it down. I mean, you was convinced that it was just, oh man, I just came to you. And you told it to them and they shot it down. And you thought since they was your loved ones and their friends and they got your best interests at heart, you believed them. You was wrong. You let them talk you out of what God got for you. As a kid, you know, I didn't know, but my gift is that I found out later on. I have the ability to think extremely quick, and I can take any piece of information and transpose it into comedy immediately. That when you're a kid and you don't understand that, you get in a lot of trouble. I didn't know what it was until I got older, that this was a gift, that it did make room for me, that I became a stand-up comedian, which started with a dream of mine, and it led to where I am today. It's a lot of stuff that happened in between there. But your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift, and everybody has one, and God gives it to you at birth. You don't have to go anywhere to discover it. It's not in the water. It's not on the mountaintop. It ain't hid under a rock. Your God-given gift is instilled in you at birth. If you pursue that as opposed to your passion, there lies your greatest chance for success. The problem with people is we don't pursue our gift oftentimes. We try to go get an education and make it think that's going to get us somewhere. If you identify that gift, man, that gift is the thing that can make you great. We're all participating in this thing called life. Life has ebb and flows. Mountaintops, it's got valleys, it's got thunderstorms in it, earthquakes. This life, you stop expecting it to go smooth, cause it ain't finna go smooth. The road to success is always under construction. This life ain't set up to be smooth. You combat negativity and you combat discouragement with gratitude. It's the one way to combat discouragement is with gratitude. What messes you up is you focus on the thing that's not happening, and that causes you to get discouraged. So whenever you get discouraged, you have to change your focus from what's not happening to what has happened, and it straightens you out immediately. Because what causes the downslide is if you get wrapped up into what ain't happening, it get ugly, man, and it just snowballs. But you have to focus on gratitude. People understand how serious gratitude is. You know, it's a serious principle of success. It's hard to be miserable and grateful at the same time. You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is about risk. If you play it safe in life, you ain't gonna have much of a life. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life. Life is risk. It take courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything, but eventually God is very good, man, when he sees you take a leap of faith. He supplies you everything you need. Now it's going to cost you something, but most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're going to have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is a very uncomfortable feeling. And I learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. See, if you think you're too old to make it, let me give you a prime example. Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders has been frying chicken his whole life. He was telling everybody he had the best chicken in the world. Ain't nobody believe him. They turned him down everywhere. Colonel Sanders didn't get a franchise till he was in his 60s. Kentucky Fried Chicken sell more chicken than anybody in the world today. So if you're sitting there thinking because you got a little gray on you, you too late, as long as God waking you up in the morning, that's the sign that he ain't through with you. So what you tripping for? Last year I spoke at the SALT convention. The SALT convention is where billionaires from around the world gather. They gather in Vegas once a year to talk about how they're going to change the world. There's a couple hundred billionaires in this world. They all come to Las Vegas once a year to SALT convention. I was asked last year to be the keynote speaker. And I'm tripping because I'm not a billionaire. And I asked a guy who asked me to do it, I said, I'm not a billionaire. You do understand that. We said, Mr. Harvey, we know everything about you. We know your net worth and everything. I said, well, what can you all learn from me? He said, everything. He said, the reason we want to hear your story is because the majority of us that are billionaires, we inherited some money and we grew it. A couple of us inherited $1 billion. Some of us inherited 300 million and we turn it into $1 billion. You come from nothing. What we want to know is how you got to where you are after coming from nothing. How did you live in a car for 3 years and wind up on more TV shows than anybody? How did you survive flunking out of school? How did you survive all of that? We want to know that, because in case something happens to us, we don't really have the information that you have, or how to come from the back to the front, or how to come from the bottom to the top. So I get asked oftentimes to speak. And so when I was telling them how I made it, I was telling them about the fortitude that I developed. And then I told them about the faith that I had. And that was really startling to them. Now, a lot of them are people of faith, but a lot of people who were born with a lot of money ain't really had to have a lot of faith. You understand? You have an idea of what it feels like. You've seen some kids get put in foster care. You've seen child protective services come to somebody's house. You've seen kids come to school with less. You might have been one of the kids that went to school with less. You have struggled to give your kids a better life than the one you had. They don't hear this. But I'm going to tell you something right now. You can be successful without an education. You can be successful without coming from a rich family. You can be successful. I don't care what color you are, what faith you belong to, your sexual preference. I don't care what's wrong with you. You can be successful. Everybody in your life will have a turn back moment. No matter who you are. You're going to have such a period in your life where it seems like it's not working. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges. And everybody has what's called a turn back moment. You always have a moment in your life where the direction you're going, you will have to make a decision to keep going or you turn back. The sad thing is the average person turns back. But think about this. If you're going somewhere and you turn back, you can never get there. If you wake up every day and go get in your car and say, I'm going to the store, and halfway to the store, you turn around, and then the next day, you go to the store and you turn around, you do realize that you'll never get to the store. So whatever you needed from the store now is even a greater need because you turn back. And every time you turn back, it does not change the need. So what kept me going was, I made turning back, giving up, never an option. And I had really dark moments, man, where I thought I just didn't think I was going to make it. I mean, where I am today, I didn't see it clearly at all. I had a lot of turn back moments. But you know what it was for me, man? Being successful is so hard, but I realized that not being successful was hard too. The difference between not being successful hard and trying to get successful and hard, if you're trying to get successful and it's hard, at least there's some payout. There's a payoff. If you hang in there, there's payoff. When you're not successful, it's hard. It's hard not having money. It's hard never knowing how to come up with your mortgage and your bond and your rent. It's hard not knowing that. How you going to feed your children? How you going to pay your bills? It's hard, ain't it? So if it's hard that way, and it's hard being successful, I might as well deal with how hard it is to be successful, because at least one day that could be a payout. If you just stay in the hard part of life of not being successful, ain't no payoff.
To be is greatest advice. And it don't manifest that you are there. Very cemetery. Here. Except the roof we can
Now, if you waking up, you going down there, they ain't paying you what you want. You hate your coworkers. You down there, your boss has no business being your boss. I just never thought that anybody should be in charge of me. I always saw myself free. I just want to come to work. This is all I want to do. Bishop Jake said this. I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. You should look into that before you mess around and check out of here.
Write this down, please. Discontent is the seed of change. In other words, you will never change what you tolerate. How many times have you said, I need to change this, but you keep doing it?
Inspiring habit.
It's because you tolerate it. Whatever you tolerate will never change. So how do you break a toleration? Here's my advice. Write this down. You will never become what you could be until you become angry with what you are. Anger brings change. Your life is defined by what you hate. Can you write that down right now? Whatever you don't hate, you allow. And whatever you allow, you will never change. People say that God is love. And sometimes we use that to accommodate evil. But the Bible says God also hates things. The great King David wrote 7 things God hates. Solomon wrote 14 of them. What kind of habits do you have? What is your secret habit? What is your public habit? You're designing your future with that habit. We don't decide our future, we decide our habits. And our habits decide our future. If you have a habit of watching television, your future is designed in that habit. So the power of a habit can control your destiny. So you got to decide your habits. I have a habit, for example, of reading the Bible every day. It's not some spiritual giant. I made it a habit. So if I don't read the Bible, I feel like I'm going through withdrawals. What a good habit to have. Prayer should be a habit. For most people, prayer is an occasional surprise, or when things are falling apart only.
Your gift will make room for you. Now, what is your gift? It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your gift. Quit running away from the gift. Your gift will make room for you. Stop trying to be something you ain't gifted at. Nobody asked you to go down here and study to be a dentist, and you ain't really good at that. Listen to me. All of you have this gift. Identify it. It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's what you should be doing. You're wasting your time pursuing your passion. The Bible does not mention passion. It mentions your gift. What are you gifted at, and do that? Stop tripping. You can do that. If you fry chicken better than everybody you know, you ought to be somewhere frying chicken. People make millions of dollars frying chicken. Popeyes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, El Pollo Loco. All they doing is making chicken. Somebody just started making chicken. You know the story of Marie Callender's? Do you know what this woman did, man? She worked for a diner, a greasy spoon diner that was going out of business. It was her only job. She was a single mother. It was her only job. She needed that job, but the diner was going to close. So she went to the owner of the diner and said, let me bake one of my pies. People like my pies, and see if I can help you make a little money. He said, whatever, bring it in. She bought one pie in. They sold every slice. The next day, the people came in and asked for the pie. She had to go home and make another pie. The next day, so many people asked for the pie, she had to make 4 pies. Then people started saying, can I buy my own pie? She made so many pies at this store that she eventually saved her money and put a commercial oven in her house. She done made so many pies, the dude's shop, he ain't selling hamburgers no more. All he's selling is them pies. That's how Marie Callender got started. Marie Callender now has over 120 restaurants. You can't go to no frozen food section without seeing Marie Callender in there. You know what she started with? A pie. One pie.
What you become after today depends on what you do with this message. All of you in this room, I have good news for you. You came to this earth because there's something the earth needed that God hid inside of you. Everything in creation was created with a gift. Everything. God created nothing without a gift in it. It took me 30 years to make that one statement. Research, experience, my own life, studying creation itself. You were brought to this planet, sent here by a greater power to deliver something that we need. God created everything with gifts. In other words, you are a package sent to earth to deliver a gift to your generation. You are obligated to us. You owe me what you are carrying. Whatever you were created to become, you possess now. This is a divine principle. What do you think your gift is? What did I say? Whatever you were created to become, you possess it now. In other words, whatever you were born to do is not ahead of you. It's within you. Because whatever you were destined to become, God has prepared you with it. The Creator never places the future outside of a thing. Your future is not ahead of you. It's actually trapped on the inside. In other words, write this down. You came to planet Earth with your future inside of you. I say it this way: God hid your future in a place where he knew you couldn't miss it. A gift is the inherent capacity to fulfill a function that meets a need in creation. Every word is important here. Inherent means no one can give this to you. You came with this. No prophecy can give you a gift. A prophecy may stir it up. This session is probably one of the most important sessions in your life because you are still stuck looking for a job. You know what's good about gifts? You don't have to look for them.
The dude that cut my hair, I met him in 1986. He cut my hair for $10. I remembered him. When I got on TV, I had hired him. He came out there, he started making $300 a haircut. I paid him $10. He had been with me so many years that he was making $1,500 per haircut. I was getting my hair cut 4 times a week for television and touring. I paid him $1,500 each time. He was making $6,000 a week. You know what he was doing? Cutting hair. That same haircut I paid $10 for in '87. This dude was cutting it now for me for $1,500. I cut my hair off, but then let me tell you what he did. I paid him a chunk of money for being with me all these years. Gave him a severance pay. Told him good luck. Guess what this dude got now? He got 4 salons and he owned 2 barber colleges. You know what this dude make now? $3.6 million a year. You know what he do? He cut hair. He don't do nothing else. That's his gift. Friend of mine we grew up with. All he did was cut grass. He had a single blade lawnmower that he pushed. He was so good at it, he could raise the blades up and lower them. He could cut patterns in your grass. We little, I'm going, hey man, we going swimming. Now I got to cut Miss Jackson grass. He could cut patterns in your yard. He could put your initials in your grass. As a little boy, $2 for the front, $2 for the back, $4. We used to laugh at him all the time. Well, let me tell you what we laughing at now. He got a landscaping company in Cleveland. You know how much this boy making? $4 million a year. You know what he do? He cut grass. He got 38 trucks. He got all the contracts in the city, malls, corporations. And when it snow outside, he do such a good job cutting the grass, he put plows on the front of his trucks, and he got all the snow removal contracts. This boy making $4 million a year, and you know what he do? He cut grass.
If you study all of our culture, all of our cultures, look at our cultures, they are built on employment. The employment destroys your gift. It stops you even from thinking about it. We have been damaged greatly by our educational systems because they have actually been conditioning us to believe that we are only here to find a job, pay some bills, and die. Matter of fact, everything your parents tell you has to do with a job. Most of us, based on our culture, have been taught to go and find your future. And so we are conditioned just to get an education, to get a job, and then work in a place we hate for 45 years. And then they give us a clock to go home with, to sit in a rocking chair to watch the rest of our time fade away. This is what they call retirement. It means you're tired. So you are retired, double tiredness. Do not go to school, young people, to find a gift. Single woman, I promise you, you'll never find your gift in education. So make a note of this. A gift can never be learned. It can only be refined. That's why you can go to college and get a PhD and still be broke. Because education is not a gift. You can actually go to school and spend a lot of money going through all kinds of universities and never refine your gift because you took the wrong courses. Most people, God forbid, in this room, went to college and studied the wrong thing because your decision to choose a certain area of study was motivated more by economic potential than personal fulfillment. And so now you are depressed because you are not fulfilling your gift. Well educated and still trying to pay a phone. Even your career may not be your gift, is what I'm saying. And God may send this message to you right now to tell you it's time to change your career into your call.
I was speaking at a school once. I was talking to the students. The principal was mortified with my message because I was telling the truth. I was telling the kids, your education is important, but your education is not the most important thing in your life. I'm sorry, it's not. Your dream is the most important thing in this world. It tops your education. Your dreams dwarf your education. I said, and the principal came up on the stage while I was speaking, don't ever say that to my school again. Well, I'm just telling you, dog. You could save your kids a lot of pain if you ever talk to them about their dreams. You got to talk to young people about their dreams. See, it's not your education. The Bible don't even mention education. It ain't even in there. The Bible says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. If you talk to kids about their dreams, your dreams can spur you to get the education. But if you never find out what a child is dreaming about, you can't hold their attention. It's the dream, man. If you got a kid that want to be an airplane pilot, you can quit talking to him about education. Talk to him about being a pilot, how great it is, where he'll be able to fly. Then he'll do math. He'll do engineering. He'll go to science because he wants to be a pilot. It's the dream that's the biggest thing. People killing me, man, with this education. I ain't knocking education, but you can make it without education. I ain't got one. You know how many people got degrees ain't working? Ain't working nowhere. Now, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, dentist, stuff like that, you got to go get education. We're not talking about that. But you keep going to get all these pieces of paper hang on your wall. You got one degree, you ain't make it with that.
Your life will never be a straight path. I began at Fordham University as a pre-med student. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't read it, I couldn't say it, I sure couldn't pass it. So then I decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. And with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. I was a 1.8 GPA one semester, and the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I was 20 years old, I was at my lowest point. And then one day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. There was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town, and I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror, and every time I looked at the mirror, I could see her. She was staring at me. She said something I'll never forget. She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." Now, mind you, I'm 20 years old, I'm flunked out of school. So when I got back to Fordham that fall, I got in, I changed my major once again for the last time. And in the years that followed, just as that woman prophesied, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, read. But we have this treasure. Where is it hidden? In jars of clay, earthen vessels, your body. To do what? To show forth that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. Lord have mercy. Because I put that stuff inside of you. What are you supposed to do with it? Show it forth. Manifest yourself. And what happens afterwards? It says, and we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. We are perplexed sometimes, but not in despair. In other words, no matter what you go through, the gift is still there. In despair, I lost my house. God said, but you still got the gift. The bank took back the car. I still got the gift. My girlfriend left me, but I still got the gift. Write this point down, please. The gift is the source of value to the created thing. Let me say it again. Your gift is the source of your value. Your value comes from your gift. So if you never find your gift, you will never be valuable to us. And your value determines how much you make in life. You get paid for the value you bring to the earth. Don't pursue money. Whatever gives you value is the source of your wealth. And sometimes people try to make money from their gift too early. My advice is give it away free. Because when you give your gift away free, it gets exposed. Even a drug dealer knows about this. They give you the first one free. You must be serving your gift. How many years have I taught? I mean, from I was 15 years old, and the vision is teaching the word of God, never got a cent. And someone gives me $10,000 a day for speaking, you get jealous of me. I gave it away free for 15 years. You're trying to get paid, you even ain't there for 15 hours. Give it away free. Serve your gift. Volunteer.
I was 27 years old, October 8th, 1985, Hilarity's Comedy Club. Walked in the comedy club, first time in my life, won amateur night, $50. Drove 40 minutes home, cried all the way home. This girl I rode with, she said, why you crying? It ain't but $50. You don't even understand. I'm born. She said, what you mean you born? I said, I know what I'm going to do the rest of my life. She said, you ain't win but $50. No, I've been praying my whole life, God, what is it? My life got to be more than this. I won that comedy competition. I went to work October 9th, the next morning, and quit my job. That decision cost me everything I had. I lost everything. I lost my family. I lost friends. I lost everything. I became homeless. I lived in a car for 3 years. But I just saw this. I saw this vision. I just pursued it. I said, wow, that's it. You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is about risk. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life.
Remember this.
Life is risk. It takes courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything. God is very good, man, when he sees you take a leap of faith.
He will supply what you need.
He supplies you everything you need. Now, it's going to cost you something. But most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're going to have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is very uncomfortable. I learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you can get that in your head, everything you've ever gone through, God got you through it. You didn't even realize it. He just got you through it. You can't name one thing he didn't pull you through. Well, I lost my mother. I'm still grieving over that. I lost my mama 21 years ago. I still grieve over it, but I'm here. You know, I got through it. You're going to get through it. But you got to take chance in life, man. Can't play it safe, y'all. You got to jump. You got to go for it.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. Embrace it, because it's inevitable. And I should know. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition. I prayed, and I prayed. But I continued to fail and fail and fail. But it didn't matter, because there's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you. You could have brought us to life. And now we have to go to the grave together. So you got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. The question is, what are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have?
Last one, secure the next generation. Have you noticed that every fruit got seed in it? Every fruit got seed in it because the fruit must maintain the future. That's my whole life. My whole life is to help people better than me. That's why I teach you so much. I want you to be great people. 10 keys to success. How to release your purpose. Number 1. You must first understand your destiny. Number 2, you must have a vision of your gift. See the finished product. Number 3, believe you have the ability to fulfill it. Number 4, you must live by the laws that protect that gift. We call them principles. Number 5, you must have a plan laid out to go toward your gift.
Inspiring habits.
Number 6, you must have the right people around you. Because there's some gift killers. Gift killers. There's some folks who are suffocators. Because they fail, they want you to fail. They ain't going nowhere, and they want to take you with them. You got to be careful with the people you have in your life. And number 8, persistence. You got to handle the pressure to go after your gift. Because you live in a culture that doesn't want you to manifest your gift. The beautiful thing is when you manifest it, then all of a sudden they become your friend. Because they want to eat your gift. Number 9, you must persevere to bring forth your gift. Because you will always have resistance and opposition, discouragement, failures, but you got to keep coming back. And number 10, you must pray over your gift every day. Pray to the one who gave it to you to give you wisdom to manifest it. I pray every day about my gift. You pray for your purpose. Don't pray for food. Don't pray for clothing. You want to pray for your role in God's kingdom. Your delivery system, what you're supposed to bring to this thing. That's what you pray for. Oh God, show me how to do it. Revive it. Refine it. Define it for me. Keep it fresh, Lord. Let me see this purpose. That's what I pray for.
The best things in life is on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of fear. But fear freezes people, man. The fear of failure freezes people. Suppose I don't do it. If you don't do it, you might not make it. That's for sure. So that's just my opinion. That's probably not what most people share, but your dream, man, it's what you dream about. You got to dream about something so big that it dwarfs all your fears. The way you overcome fear is with your dream. You got to make your dream so big that nothing matters except that dream. You're willing to do everything that's necessary.
Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas. To not only take risks, but to be open to life, to accept new views, and to be open to new opinions, even though you're scared stiff. While it may be frightening, it will also be rewarding. Because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you.
Know your purpose. Believe your assignment. Document your vision. Put it on paper. You were sent to earth to release your hidden potential. Hold a mango seed in your hand and see a mango. That's what vision is. You see the end result. Do that with your life. Submit to the right environment. Even though you see the mango in the seed, you got to plant that seed in the ground and give it water and give it nutrients. Your greatness can be destroyed by a wrong environment. The books you read, the people you are with, the places you go, the church you attend, all relate to what you become. Feed on the right materials. When you put that fertilizer on that seed gets happy. What are you fertilizing your life with? You spend 5 hours watching LMN. I mean, what are you feeding your vision? What are you feeding your gift? You go out with this in different clubs. All this, God is saying, what are you doing? What are you feeding your gift? Give your gift time to develop. You'll never get mangoes from a mango seed in a day. Go through the process. Persist under pressure. When you plant that seed in the ground, all the pressure, the earth is on top of that. But the pressure is important for the seed. The pressure of your life tests the reality of your gift. Whatever stops you is how strong you are.
Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this: fall forward.
Your gift is supposed to produce more seed. You should be mentoring people all the time to become greater than you. Produce others who will do great things. Serve your gift to the world. Then you are a great seed. Fish came from the water, they got to stay attached. You came out of God. Don't try to fulfill your gift without God.